Hi, Jordan. My question is, what is the antidote towards toxic masculinity?
Well, the antidote is responsible masculinity. And what does responsible mean? It means, well, if you're responsible, then you're trying to do what's honest first. So you're careful with your speech and your actions. You're careful with your speech in that you don't say things that you know to be false. And you're careful in your actions so that you don't have to lie about what you do. That's a good start. And then the next thing would be that you're capable of taking responsibility for yourself at least, so that once you're an adult, no one else has to bend over backwards to ensure that you don't unduly suffer in the world. And so that's responsibility for yourself. And then if you get halfway good at that, well then, you might think about taking on the responsibility of a family and contributing to your community and doing all those things in a harmonious manner. And that's obviously the antidote to toxic masculinity, which is not a phrase I would generally use. I just think about it as, what would you call it? I think sinful behavior is a much more accurate representation personally, but it's honesty and responsibility. And I do think about it as a function of harmony.
I said that didn't cover really toxic masculinity, right? Because
yes, it's dealing with the principle of reciprocity.
No, you just said that you do have to be honest and responsible as a man. Right?
Well, put it this way. When I'm giving the spoon back to my granddaughter, I'm not engaging in toxic masculinity. And that was the point that I was trying to make, is that, and this deep reciprocity and trust is part of the social contract, and it is precisely the antidote to what precisely, since we're going to pursue this, what precisely is toxic masculinity, as opposed to, say, toxic femininity or toxic humanity. What exactly are you asking me about?
I really want to know what you like, how you would describe toxic masculinity. Because
no, I want you to define what toxic masculinity constitutes.
These people have a tendency to say things, then when you ask them to define it, they can't define it. It's very nebulous. You have to challenge their ideas and the words that they use, because oftentimes they can't even truly explain it. What is the difference between toxic masculinity and just toxic humanity? What is the difference? What is it that men are specifically doing that women aren't capable of doing as well? They can never explain that. They want to gender a behavior and use it as a weapon. It's such a obvious attack.
Since we're going to define things so carefully, let's do it.
Well, I think...
Okay, guys, sorry, but we really have to move on. So there will be more questions later on. There will be a lot of opportunities.
No, but
ask
maybe
questions.
if you. Okay, so let's define it shortly.
All right, shortly, please.
Okay, I think that the moment when you kind of, I have a hard time to kind of describe it in English. Let's say, that you kind of go over a boundary that kind of neglects the freedom of the opposite, well, gender or whatsoever. So that
because women are incapable of doing that. That's something that women are completely incapable of doing. What? Their definitions are so hollow and tenuous. Like, it doesn't stand on anything.
That's toxic masculinity, and that you kind of
But
have this...
that would also be toxic femininity.
Well, may I finish my sentence,
Sure.
please? Thank you. And then also, I lost my sentence now. But no, I'll be back. I'm back. But one sense that... Yeah, can someone help me here in the audience?
Okay, so before we move on, let me point something out. That I was willing to undertake this line of discussion, allowing for the possibility that the category of toxic masculinity had some content, right? But if we're going to pursue that line of reasoning and quibble about the answer, then we're certainly going to quibble about the definition that's embedded in the question.
He was willing to entertain it, even saying, I'm not even so sure what toxic masculinity is. And then she wanted to push for him to be specific. Then when he pushes for her to be specific, she collapses. If you're going to base your life around a principle or base a significant part of your understanding of the world around a particular concept or idea, you should probably have a firm grasp on that actual thing and being able to define it and explain it. Anyways, that was the video. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure to comment below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.